Hello, fellow car enthusiasts and gearheads. This is your guy Christopher Watson of Crack Media, and today we're going to talk about a car that's a little different that I didn't even know existed. That was featured on Gear Dogs. On episode 4 of Gear Dogs, Nate and his partner, I guess, in this episode, Pat, actually have a 1980 Jeep Honcho. I have no idea, or had no idea, what a Jeep Honcho was until after watching this episode. So, this is going to be a very different type of car for me, because I didn't know what it was. Anyway, Nate approaches Pat. Pat has actually been in the doghouse before, working on different projects. But Pat somehow has his hands on a 1980 Jeep Honcho 4x4. And for those of you that don't know what a Jeep Honcho is, if you haven't watched this episode already, a Jeep Honcho is a truck. So Jeep wanted to jump into the truck segment, and they made a actual truck, like a single cab with a bed truck. Now, if anybody doesn't know, or if you don't know, Jeeps are built to be rugged and for off-road. So for them to make a four-wheel drive truck, they knew what they were trying to do. Anyways, Nate approaches Pat. Pat's like, hey, I think this would be a great build. And Nate knows how good of a mechanic or how good of a car builder Pat is. So he's like, let's do it. I think that we can make about 40 grand on this build. And obviously, you're going to be able to use my equipment, my lifts, my everything. If I get it, and I want a 25% profit. Pat agrees. They get to working on it. The first thing they do is kind of pull the interior out and find out that the inside of the cab, or the interior, the floor is like rusted through. So right off the bat, they're like, crap, we got to put money into it. Second thing they do is they pull I think it's a straight six that's in the Jeep. So they pull the straight six out. They put a modern Hemi in under the hood, which is nice. They pulled it from I think a wrecked Dodge Ram or Dodge Dakota, and they put it in there. The thing that's interesting about this build is that Nate didn't really want to do any exterior decorations, like paint it differently or do any wild things with the body. He said, hey, let's just keep it kind of stockish, because these are so rare. People don't want to get something that's just wild on this one. Now he did add a front light bar on the grill, new mud tires, new wheels, new suspension, new brakes. So the build is, I personally wouldn't drive that, but for what it is, it's cool. It's a truck that nobody else is gonna have, and it's all off-road. I would go off-road, but I just wouldn't drive that truck. Now, as far as Gear Dogs and the doghouse, aside from the flipping, I really, really like this. I really, really like this show, this concept, because they show you all the other. I say all. They show you some of the other dogs, quote unquote, in the doghouse that are doing, finishing their projects or their restoration builds. Like there's this guy in there that had a Veil Malibu, and this dude put like a 509 or something in the car. Finally got it finished. They went and drove around the block, and then Herb, who's been on there before, you can see him like make some progress with his build. And because they're in there doing their restorations, they're able to help each other, you know. And I think that's the cool part about being a car guy. The cool part about being around other car guys, because we're always willing to help each other. Like, for instance, you know, I'm just kind of pulling in my personal experience. Like, I have a Toyota MR2, and I actually found this guy that actually didn't live 3 miles away from me that has an MR2. Talked to him online, talked to him on the phone. I was like, hey man, I'm having some problems with my MR2, and I saw you. And he actually was like, dude, you can come over to my house and look at what my car has and see what you need to do to get yours running. So, I mean, to be in the same garage with somebody that knows how to do body work or knows how to do, I mean, simple things like timing or things that you don't know how to do and they know how to do because they've been doing this for a while, that's super duper like helpful and super duper like cool. So I really like that Nate has this business that fosters cooperation and friendship and togetherness. So anyway, to wrap it up, Nate and Pat get the build done. They actually have a buyer. The way they sell this car, they actually take it out to like the back roads or to some field where they actually jump it and drive it crazy around in the field. And the buyer's like, you know, he's like, okay, this thing's really cool, but how much y'all want? And Nate's like 40 grand. Okay, which I don't think that's a bad price. I mean, you got basically a rest of mine. You got a modern V8 in there with updated suspension, updated wheels, new lights and everything on the front, new interior. But this guy's like, oh, I wasn't expecting 40 grand. I was expecting like 9. And the guy's name is Shay. I was expecting like 9,000. And it's like, really? $9,000? The engine itself seems to be $9,000. Like, come on now. Like, don't be dumb. So anyway, Nate comes back. He's like, 40 is about what we were talking about. I mean, no, I need you to come up with a real price. He's like, all right, well, maybe 30. So that's like 10 grand off what Nate and Pat are saying. And Pat's kind of sweating bullets now because he's like, dude, that's way lower than what we thought. Of course, Nate comes back again, 36. And the buyer's like, I don't know. I don't really want to spend that much. Well, anyway, eventually, they settle on $30,000. I know that's $10,000 lower than what they really wanted to get, but it's still $30,000. I think they pocket somewhere between, 13 grand. I think they pocket 13 grand. So 13 grand from a bill that's different, to say the least. I think that's not bad, you know. And I mean pocket 13 grand as in they put in 17,000 to get the truck to where it needs to be. So I think that's a good price, you know. Now, like I said, overall, I enjoy this show because you get to see the camaraderie between all the other dogs in the shop. So, what do y'all guys think? I mean, like I said before, I asked y'all this before. Do you think that a shop like this in your town, in your area, or even in your state would thrive? Or do you not think people would want to pay for that? Because I guarantee you, if I could have access to a lift and all the shop tools I need, I would more than likely, and when I say more than likely, about 95% sure with surety to tell you that I would try to utilize a garage like that, because it's kind of hard to work under a car or work on a car when you don't have easy access to things. And if you had, I don't know, if I had a lift, then half the stuff that I need to get done will be done like so much quicker and easier. But what do you guys think? Tell me in the comments, and thanks again for watching, guys. If you don't enjoy these, I enjoy talking about this stuff. So we'll catch y'all on the next video. Y'all have a great day and peace out.